All right, everyone. So again, we are on page 359, starting lesson 17, solving one-step word problems using multiplication and division. Starting up at the top here, it says, you have learned about different ways to show multiplication and division. In this lesson, you will learn how to solve multiplication and division word problems. Let's take a look down here where all the baseballs are, right? Good timing since baseball season will be starting soon. Write a word problem about this array, familiar word, right? Array, that you could solve with multiplication or division. And then write an equation to represent your problem. So friends, let's first of all figure out what it is that this question is asking. What are you supposed to do? Well, let's take a look. So it's talking about a word problem about this array that could solve with multiplication or division. So we're basically going to be creating a problem. We're going to be creating a problem about this array, this picture, what we see. So let's talk about what we see. I see lots of baseballs. How many baseballs do I see? Well, if I take a look at this baseball array, it's going to show me that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. And each of those groups has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I have 5 groups of 8 baseballs. Okay, so my brain tells me that if I were to apply that multiplication, 5 groups of 8, 5 groups of 8, I'm going to have 40 baseballs in front of me here. 40 baseballs. Now I need to write multiplication or division. I need to write some type of a problem here. So I could say, multiplication or division, we are going to start with multiplication. So I'm going to say this is going to be multiplication. That's going to help my brain. Multiplication. So I could say, I'm going to say Miss D puts her baseballs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with 8 on each shelf. Miss D puts her baseballs on 5 shelves with 8 on each shelf. How many baseballs does Miss D have? Miss D puts her baseballs on 5 shelves with 8 on each shelf. How many baseballs does Miss D have? So 5 shelves or 5 groups with 8 on each shelf, 5 groups of 8 equals 40 baseballs in all. All right, that's multiplication. But I haven't done division yet. Now I need to do division. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another piece of paper because it looks like I'm going to need more room. So in talking about division now, here we go. Now I'm going to call this division. Now it's division. And you should be writing this underneath your multiplication, right? Or on a separate piece of paper like I am, if you need to do that. All right, so now Miss D has 40 baseballs. 40 baseballs. She puts them in 5 boxes. She puts them in 5 boxes with the same number in each box. So how many baseballs are in each box? All right, Miss D has 40 baseballs. She puts them in 5 boxes with the same number in each box. How many baseballs are in each box? So again, we are starting with 40, right? We know there are 5 boxes, right? So we'll call that boxes. And that's going to equal 8 in each box. 8 in each box. 40 divided by 5. Now, the inverse operation says that we can take how many are in each box, multiply that by how many boxes there are to come up with the total amount of 40. And if you compare that to the multiplication problem that we just created, 5 shelves, 8 on each shelf, 40 total baseballs. You can see the relationship or the fact family with these numbers: 8, 5, and 40. I'll give you a minute to write these down. Let's see if I can get them both on the same screen for you. I think I can. Here we go. I'll give you just a minute to get all of that written down before we move on to the next page. All right, friends, we are now on page 360. 360, where we have this bunch of bananas, right? I want you to take a look at question number 2. Question number 2. And it says, often you can write either a multiplication or a division equation to solve a problem. Look at the problems below. And of course, we have number A, number B. Write a multiplication equation and a division equation you could use to solve each problem about the bananas. And then we're going to use a question mark in your equations to show the unknown number. So when I close read this question, I need to identify exactly what the question is asking of me. Because remember, friends, we answer the question that's being asked. All right, so it says, I need to look at these problems. I need to write a multiplication equation and a division equation. And I am going to help my brain by highlighting this and. It's not or, it's and. I need both, friends. Multiplication and division. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at A. A says 2 bunches, 2 of these, have a total of 12 bananas. Each bunch has the same number of bananas. So it's a total of 12, 2 bunches, each bunch, same number. I need to write, multiplication and division. So I could say I have 2 bunches, right? But I don't know how many are in each bunch. I'm not sure. But I do know that I have 12 total. That's what I know. I'm trying to figure out how many are in each bunch. Okay. Again, my knowns, I have 2 bunches and 12 total bananas. What I don't know is how many are in each one. I could also write division. I could say, I have 12 total bananas. I have 2 bunches, but I don't know how many are in each one. But let's take a look at B and how they're similar. Each bunch has 6 bananas. If there are 12 bananas, how many bunches are there? So we go from needing to know how many are in each bunch to how many bunches there are. Always close read, again, my friends, trying to figure out exactly what the question is asking of you. Again, in A, I needed to know how many are in each bunch. In B, I need to know how many bunches there are. So I know that each bunch has 6 bananas. I know that there are 12 total bananas. What I don't know is how many bunches there are. That I don't know. If I look at it from division, I could say, I have 12 total bananas. I know that there are 6 in each bunch. Again, what I don't know is how many bunches there are. Always remembering, friends, that multiplication and division are inverse operations. The numbers involved form those fact families. What is familiar here between all these numbers is that the numbers that you are using are not changing. How you're using the numbers are changing. 2, 6, and 12 is your family of numbers. How those numbers are being used is what is changing. Okay? And so it's asking us down at the bottom, it's saying, how are the multiplication and division equations alike in problem 2B? Here. How are they alike? We're comparing in problem 2b. So very simply, friends, both equations show the total number of 12. Here's 12. Here's 12. And the number of bananas in each bunch. Which of course is 6. And both of these equations both have the number of bunches as the unknown number. Or question mark. All right, both equations show the total number of 12 and the number of bananas in each bunch, which is 6. Both have the number of bunches as the unknown number. There and there. I will give you a moment to finish writing down these notes, and then we'll come back together for a brief discussion.